Steve Levy is nice enough to join us here on the Michael Kay Show. It's Don LaGreca and Peter Rosenberg. How are you?
Howdy, Pete. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
Very good.
Hey.
And you know what? Obviously, I'm sure you're thinking a lot of Stuart Scott, somebody that you work with and we're friends with. And we never talked about this, Steve, and I know I'm paraphrasing, but you said something the first Monday Night Football game that just blew me away when you said that you'll be forever filling in for Stuart Scott. I mean, that was just an amazing way to put your relationship with him and what he meant to you as a person.
You know, that was tricky to begin with. The season before that, I really was week to week, waiting to see how Stuart was doing each and every week. And so I really was, in essence, filling in, hey, tonight filling in for Stuart Scott, and then going to blah, 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 whatever we were talking about. And, I got a feel for his love and admiration league-wide by visiting every single Monday Night City, from the players and the coaches and the security staff. And I remember it was following the wild card game in Carolina, his beloved Carolina. I turned on my phone in the morning and the phone just exploded, and hundreds of text messages and hearing that Stuart had passed, and even leaving town, going through the airport that day. I mean, the FAA security people all talking about Stuart, and really everywhere I go, people bring up a Stuart Scott story, and to me that was the essence of Stuart. So many people who never had the opportunity to shake his hand, they all felt like they knew him because his real personality came through the television screen every night at 11 o'clock. He was an amazing guy and an even better dad, I think.
Steve, you do a great job. I'm not just saying this. It's the first time I've talked to you, so I have a tendency to tell people the things I've thought about them previously. I think you do a fantastic job in that role. Love the energy you bring. What do you think about when you think about Stuart and you think about you doing that job on a professional level? What do you keep in mind and bring to the table and know you have to do to fill those big shoes in the best way possible?
It's a great question, because when Stuart was even at his physical worst, the audience could never tell, and that was the skill set or whatever. That's really what was behind Stuart. He never took a show off, and I mean, I would see him in the newsroom prepping for the show, and even during commercial breaks, guys. I'm talking about a 90-second or a 2-minute break. He would lean his head back and really try to catch 60 seconds just for himself in a commercial break. And then, bam, da-da-da, the red light comes on, and Stuart Scott was like Stuart Scott always was. And unbelievable work ethic. As I said, he never took a night off. If he would have called out sick, nobody would ever, give it a second thought. Stuart, take the week off, right?
Right.
Never, ever, ever did that. And not only did he come to work prepared, he had done writing from home, some of his legendary rap lead-ins that he did, some of the musical tribute type stuff. He would take the weekend before Sunday night to work on. So that is absolutely what I try to do. Never take a show off. When the red light goes on, it's time to give you your effort, and that's what Stuart Scott was all about.
Talking to Steve Levy again. You can bid on his experience. Watch a Ranger game with Steve that will expire at 5:15. It's already up to over $2,400. And I know this is close to your heart as well, being a hockey guy, Steve, is that ESPN's back in the hockey business. They've got a deal, both radio and television, for the World Cup of Hockey. And one of the experiences at 5 o'clock is on September 25th to be able to watch the semifinal game 2 at 1 o'clock with Chris Chelios, Brett Hull, and John Butchergrass. And you're going to be calling that game from Toronto. What's it like to be back in the hockey game for a guy that it seemed like every time you called an important game, it went 5 overtimes?
Yeah, we were downright like childlike giddy. I mean, when we got that back. And, the people at home, they know the on-air guys, but I'm telling you, for every Butchergrass and Cone and Levy in the building, there are 10 or 20 other behind-the-scenes people who you don't know who were equally thrilled. I mean, from the camera people and the research and the audio, the graphics. I mean, there are so many hockey fans in Bristol. We know it's only a 2-week tournament, but speaking of Stuart Scott, you will get our every last drop of greatness that we can give you on hockey because of our true love. And how about that experience? Going to sit next to you. Butchie's great and everything, but you get Chelios and Hull. Can you imagine the story to start flowing? I mean, I don't know what that experience is up to, but whatever it's going for right now, it's probably double. Those guys, if they ever wrote a book or a movie, wow, that'd be something.
And you know there is going to be somebody's going to mess up in that game, and the two of them will make sure. I don't know if it'll make air, but off the air, they will definitely have an opinion on any USA player that makes a mistake. That's for sure.
6-second delay might be a good thing there with those two fellas, huh?
No, I'm excited. You know what? And you always did a great job, you and Panger, and I get to travel around with the Rangers, and I get to see Pang, and I miss it. Some of the great work that ESPN did all those years with hockey, and I know you've missed it personally, and getting a chance to work with all those great people on ESPN, guys like Bill Clement, who was just the salt of the earth guy, and it's really been a void, I think, in this network. And if this, even it's a little taste, as you said, just 2 weeks, but to be back in that kind of business and get you doing something that you're terrific at doing, I think is a great thing.
Well, two things there. So here's what I get the most out of, Pete. You guys will appreciate this. All people want to know about is the music. Are we bringing back the old National Hockey Night music? People fell in love with that theme, and the answer to that is A, yes, we are.
Oh, good.
We're bringing. I know we got a whole new graphics package. We got a big seminar in August scheduled for Bristol for all the people who are working on it to come in. But people are very, very excited. The new promo spots will roll out soon. But again, people are so hung up on the music. And I'll tell you, Don, who else really is happy about this besides ESPN people? The players themselves. I believe this is a big Players Association event, the NHLPA. And the players have a love affair, I think, with ESPN, and I think they're excited about getting hockey back on ESPN as well.
Oh, Steve, this is for you. The fact is, right, because it's been since the lockout. So the last game on ESPN/ABC was Game 7 of the 2004 Stanley Cup Final between the Lightning and the Calgary Flames. So it has been 12 years, wow. And that song still resonates with people, and it still sticks in their mind. I mean, that's how important that sport was and the relationship that ESPN had with it.
And guys come up to me, and they ask me about hey, you were great on NHL Tonight. Like I might have filled in like twice on NHL Tonight. That was Butcher Gross's baby, obviously. So, but it was great. We're so excited. We're so looking forward to it. And what's my event up to now? Are we over 2,500 yet?
I am going to refresh now, and we're still at $2,411.
All right, let me ask you this: if I threw Melrose into the package, if I commit Melrose to the night at the Garden, do you think we can do something with that for the next half hour, 35 minutes?
Is that official?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Barry and I are pretty close. You want to wish Barry a happy birthday, by the way. It's coming up on the 15th. He'll turn 60. But I will commit Melrose right now. I believe the game is a mutually agreed upon date. So, therefore, but we'll throw Barry in the mix and his hair and all the stories from coaching Wayne Gretzky to being blown out in Tampa after 16 games.
Right.
Might get the true story there. So maybe we can double that. Hey, if Levy's were 2,400, with Melrose, it's got to be more than 5 large, I'm thinking.
Oh. Do you know how many people associated with ESPN still hate the Lightning for letting Barry go?
I thought he got a bad deal there.
Yeah, there's no question. All right, so what you do is you go to ebay.com/ESPN, and if you just search Steve Levy, it's attend a Ranger game with Steve Levy. It's got 33 minutes left. You're not going to see it up there now, but I'm telling you, Barry Melrose will be a part of it. You'll buy him a box of cigars. I'm sure he'll go anywhere if you do that for him. And that should get the price well over $3,000-$4,000. So definitely bid. Steve, best of luck with the World Cup of Hockey. We're still working on it, but I think I'll be involved on the radio side, so I think we're going to have a lot of fun up in Toronto.
Looking forward to seeing you, pal. Peter, be well, bud.
Take care, man. Thanks, Steve.
That's Steve Levy, one of the greats.